Joe Charlotte. I will say. I love you. Mon amour, I love you. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour. Dis-moi. Ah oui, oh yeah. I love you. Yeah. My baby, I love you. Yeah. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour. Dis-moi. Ah oui, oh yeah. Aisha Karabwe, Benedict, let's see. Je sais cosmétique, je vais pour Elodie la blanche. My darling, I love you. Hey. Mi querida, te quiero. Sí. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. C'est-à-dire, j'ai ton amour dans mon cœur. J'ai ton amour. Dis-moi. Ah oui, oh yeah. Daniel, si I am you, Good evening, good evening. We say good evening, so welcome. I'm Alfonso Z and so here. Today's editions of All Things Considered. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here. This beautiful Wednesday evening here. Welcome to the show. All right, this is how we want to do it here. This evening, we say good evening to welcome. I am Alfonso Z and so of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Today is the Wednesday editions of All Things Considered. Let's do quick housekeeping here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us this beautiful Wednesday evening here. Mr. Bacon, check your link. And it's there. So just give me a minute, please. So we say good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here. So I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. Joel, it's good to have you here. Alvin Favor Fremont. Kadit, thank you so much for being here. Matman, Conan Kamara, and of course, our own sister is in the house. Sister Rita, good to have you here. It seems you are glued to the politics of Liberia and then knowing all of the things that are happening, which is also good. It's not good to get these surprises going. We say good evening. It's good to be here. Mr. Eric Kennedy Todd and Adnan Taylor. Good to have you here. We say good evening. To welcome to the show. I am your host and Lee Anger right here to the Diaspora Informative News Outlet, Liberia Public Radio. I am Alfonso Z and so I told the analysts. The link is out. You can join the forum at your will and pleasure. Tao's Copper is marching into the house of LPR this beautiful Wednesday evening. I'm not sure what is your time, where you are located, but just say thank you so much for being here. Eknemaya is also jumping in. We welcome you. It is because of you we are here always. And our ultimate goal on this network is to keep the news fair, balanced, and proportional. There are others who try to get it their way, and we will not give them that chance to do it because we sit behind the microphones. We are also obliged to do what is right for the good of our country, not necessarily to suit our political taste. Welcome to the show. It's 8:16 Eastern Standard Time right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV with your hosts right here this evening here from the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio, making the news fair, balanced, and proportional. This is the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered. There you go. That's the song. That's the rhythm that introduces the program, All Things Considered. I am your lead host, Alfonso Z and so right here this beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in the East Coast from the ocean state of New Orleans. It is a pleasure to have you here. And this is your first time, by the way, joining this network. We say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the Diaspora Informative News Magazine, Liberia Public Radio, and LPR-TV. You can also subscribe to our network. Just hit the notification icon, and preferably if you want to choose all notification, do not hit the select. The select will give you the option. Sometimes you're going to see our live view, sometimes you don't. But all notifications is perfectly suited in order to grab all of the images coming from Liberia Public Radio right here from the US and inside Liberia and other parts of the country to La Côte d'Ivoire, Abidjan, where we also have our national correspondent. You can also monitor us live on our YouTube channel, Twitter, LinkedIn, and as well. So there are multiple places you can get out. Go on the official website, www.liberiapublicradio.com. The audio version is all there. creating many avenues, whatever convenience for you, so that you can form part of the conversation. Okay, in the meantime, folks, let's take this quick commercial here, and I will be right back. There are people who have to keep the wheel of the industry turning here, and there are other programs, spiritual program here. We don't just want to talk politics here. The nomenclature of the network speaks for itself. We include the diversities of our society. So there are other who drawn into politics like myself. There are other folks on the religious side who need some spiritual guardian as well. All of us, just to say that. So we have these different programs just to make sure that you are part of what we are doing. Let's take this break, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Indeed, the home of excellent media services. That's what we provide. Welcome. Fatima is our pro-on-time member here. It's always tapping the later, so engage your top fan, all of that. So that's what we do right here. Interestingly and unfortunately, for those of you joining us for the first time, we have some ridiculous analysts on this network that can literally want to put you to sleep because of their biases, and they just blind themselves to the reality. And as usual, try to play these sort of political games. And one of those is the liberal progressive on this network. And in his own word, he's involved, unbalanced, unstable. But guess what? There are two independent voices on this network. Dr. Malik Jones, we are leading this marathon. The likes of the liberal progressive Terry, the Sissy Goyer from Minnesota, and then the newly recruited liberal ally. It is quite interesting, right here from the Ocean State. Rhode Island is also a liberal state, right here within the proximity of Massachusetts. So that, of course, it's not a big surprise, because the guy from California, stated predominantly the liberal state, he managed to recruit someone from another close liberal state here. Jared Bacon has added to the talking point on this LPR. But we're going to stand out to these voices, because they want to have it their way. They want to be in multiple places. We don't say it the way you want us to say it on this network. Interestingly, we say it, or we tell you what you need to know, or what we feel that is right. But trust me, you are at liberty to disagree with our talking point, to disabuse us, and to even label as be it the Seditians, the Boasians, the Weasians, and all of Asians, the Fixer, and all of that. You remember all the multiple political parties that came into the race during the last election? Don't be surprised, 2029, there are going to be tons of them. They're going to be a newborn political parties that I can tell you, because these people do not have the ability to sustain institutions. So all of their actions, more or less, is political, but to build a structure and to even prepare it for the long-term goal, that is not happening. And that's one of the problems we are having in our society. They don't stand up to the institution. They don't. All about it is the Zion Group Baptist political sort of talk. They worship their leaders. Whatever their leader says, that's it. They can't even raise their finger to say, yes, I support you. I am your strong fan. I am your diehard, but this side here is not in the interest. And this is the sort of ideology the lives of Jerry Bacon and that of the liberal progressive are doing here. And so when they come here, they try to do fixing here, and they do not want to be bold with you to tell you exactly what is going on. But guess what? They will make for comparison. You didn't do it the last time that you want complete. So they try to entrap us in the sort of visual cycles of this bad politicking in Liberia. It wasn't done the last time you were there. You are on an obligation to fix it. Don't take me back to history that wasn't even good for our kids to learn. I want to face what is real of today. But you have the liberal progressive. You have Mr. Jerry Bacon. You have the religious politician, Terry Collins, also on this network. But they are pushing him aside little by little. And Mally Jones and I, we will at all times resist these folks who are trying and doing everything possible not to only liberalize, but to rationalize this network. And this network is the network of all. It's 8:25 Eastern Standard Time. I am your host, Alfonso Zian. So let's get the ball rolling, and the show is about to get on the way. Welcome. Let's keep the ball rolling. The analysts are assembling cross country right here in the USA, and the talking point is about to get on the way. They're going to be quite interesting. There were folks, several liberties were seized last night because the liberal was in charge, and so he sanctioned some independent voices on this network. And I can publicly announce those liberties being restored. But I'm an Israeli type of politician as well. You do me good, I do you good. You do me bad, I do you bad. I am not a guy you slap left ear and go show right ear to bust my eardrum. No way. You slap me, I punch you. And that it is what it is. Let me bring King to one of the independent voices who believes in the core values of democracy and standing up to the lives of liberals. Samson Brown told from California and that of Jerry Bacon. But let me bring in Dr. Mally Jones here. Among my mother children, I love myself the best. The best guy on this network, Dr. Mally Jones. Good evening. Welcome.
How are you, sir?
Good to have you. Okay, let's bring in here. We are guys who don't leave people behind, even if they disagree with us, whatever they do. If they disfranchise or if they do not want us to speak when they are hosting, we are not like them. We allow them to participate in the process. LPR security analyst, the legendary, a career officer, Jerry Bacon is here this evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. What?
Good evening, Dr. Jones.
All right.
How are you?
Great,
see,
great. I'm excited to be here. I'm fired up.
You see how Dr. Jones, you see how Bacon has been magnanimous here this evening because his guy is not in control. So he thinks he's going to beat, I'm sure he's going to wave a white flag, but I can tell you, even if that white flag, you're going to be taken to political captivity. Let me just let you know. Guys, good evening. It's good to have you here. Today is Wednesday. You know, I know, our audience know the traditions of Wednesday. It's all things considered. A lot is unfolding. Too much is happening both in Liberia and across the globe. It is important we dissect and also we keep our audience engaged in the process because this is not just about all, but it's about the crisis. So let's go to this major international news here. As usual, we like to keep a fair balance and proportionate. United Nations secures over 6 million to tackle Ethiopia's critical humanitarian crisis. This country hereby a little say being born on planet Earth here. Those days were little babies running around, busting cannons and going down the creek to do fishing. Ethiopia, Ethiopia. And remember, I think you guys can remember, you know, those days when you're malnourished and things like that, that make reference to you, look how you look like Ethiopian to refugee. Not knowing we want to experience the reality, what is involved being a refugee. We didn't know that. We were taking it for fun. Look at him. He looked like Ethiopian refugee. Okay, guys, let's have the conversation going. Marley Jones, I'm going to start with you. Jerry back on here, he's on his own here tonight. I don't think the Liberal can even help you. If I wish, I can bring him. If not, he can be a United Nations observer in this conversation. Who cares? They had their night, they did it their way. It is our night. We are taking our country and our network back. So, Jones, man, too much is ongoing inside Liberia everywhere. Where are we in this whole thing here? The committees, this, that, and that. You have people like Jones and the Liberal comes here. One day they preach the book of St. John. The next day they go to Proverbs and just flipping us here and there. What are you getting from your end this night, this Wednesday, all things considered? What is so much matters to you?
So we're going to put our new analysis at the end, right?
Yes. Did you send that? No, you send that to me?
No, I didn't send it to you. I get it ready. We say every Thursday. We say every Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay, I thought you were going to share, but I guess what I think you can
gonna,
get that. You can hear that. That can serve as a guardian as well. So you have shared it, but if you're able to still send us an email, that's great. I can still get hold of it. But I think let's jump to that and see what are you going to shift the conversation here this evening. What are you gathering from the dailies in Liberia?
Well, Peru's 4 days today, yesterday and today. The newspaper 4/15/24, President Buakai commissioned and administered the oath of confidentiality to a member of the National Security Council of Liberia at the Executive Mansion. He urged the council to serve the nation's interests. The data observer 4/16, U.S. Senator James L. Rush, a Republican of Idaho, ranking member on foreign relations, has endorsed the War Crime Commission, has endorsed the War Crime Code, and he is calling on Joseph Barker to move speedily to put it into motion. The Liberian National Network 417 reported that one Prince William, aged 32, committed suicide yesterday when he hanged himself in a police cell at Salient Police Station on the airfield. The family members are outraged. They have blamed the Human Rights Commissioner who directed that the man be arrested. You can find the details in the Global News Network. The New Dawn newspaper focused on the mysterious fire that is raging in Monrovia. And they conducted some survey and decided to ask a few eyewitnesses. And some of them said that the fire incident is beyond LEC, is now classified as mysterious fire. Now we move to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso newspaper, one of the outstanding newspaper called the Burkina 24, reported on 410 that the country has embarked on huge organic strawberry, cabbage, lettuce, and maize farming, which is now a big lucrative business and a top export to China, France, and other neighboring West African states. What lesson our agriculture minister can learn from this to bring diversity to agriculture in Liberia? The Ghanaian Times reported that on 4/16, that the first Deputy Speaker of Ghana Parliament, Joseph Osei Owusu, has explained that he has decided not to seek for re-election due to poor health. Is there any lesson our politicians can learn from this? When they're sick, pay attention to their sickness and forget about politics. In Sierra Leone, April 17, 2024, the Sierra Leone Telegram reported that Dr. Abba Bondu, the Speaker of the Sierra Leonean House of Representatives, submitted his letter of resignation to President Julius Bio due to ill health, so that he can pay attention to his health. Can we also pick you from this as politicians in Liberia? The Nigerian Punch newspaper 4/12 reported that a journalist went to the human part market known as Jakara Market, located close to the Imagbo area of Lagos Island, and pretended to be a businessman who have come to buy parts. He put in for a pair of fresh kidney cost 26,200, a hat cost 11,900, and one human score cost 10,000, a box of fingernails and toenails 6,000, and 2 human tongue. So he pretended to be a buyer, only to realize that he was an undercover journalist. When they were waiting for him to bring the money, he escaped. So the newspaper decided to hide his name for fear of his life. That's the summary of our duty.
Dr. Marley Jones.
I like the way you made that one the last.
Recapping all of the major delays, both inside like, and I like this extension here because you took not just from the Liberia time you went outside, but
Right.
this conversation is about to get real interesting, fascinating. It could turn bizarre. It could turn to be a surprise. But guess what, Dr. Jones, we are in charge. They had their night, right?
Yeah.
They had their night.
But Libra, I thank God we now on stage. You know, they think it's like a musical seat, you know. So when you inside, make use of it. From my own analysis, I see that panelists Terry and Bako, sometimes they really want to show their independent color, you know. But I see their radar being jammed from every angle to the point where I don't know. But sometimes I see some independent analysis rather coming from them. But again, when the Godfather appears, the whole atmosphere can just change. So don't blame them. That might appeal to your office.
No. I am not.
I don't think they're doing it intentionally. You
Mr.
know,
Male, Doctor,
in every sector of
your
life.
suit. I like your suit, man.
He's trying to distract me, man. That's the way. The liberal there is begin to send text to his guy.
The liberal has just appeared.
So I'm not.
I like your suit, Dr. Male.
Oh, thank you. And the last time, in fact, when Terry came, Terry said I was playing softball. I said, yeah, Terry, because I see that the liberal were taking different trend. This time the liberal was saying he's not too happy. But instead of he drawing a line and standing his ground, he asking us to draw the line and stay our ground. I said, what kind of strategy is this again?
Okay, so let's get the conversation going. We were on over 5 minutes. Terry Collins did not in any way, in any form, recognize that your suit was beautiful. But guess what he did? When he saw his pattern surface, he just decided to bring that. So I am not going to be the one to fall in the cookie trap. the liberal progressive. I'm not going to be like you. I'm not going to sanction you. I disagree with you vehemently on many fronts that you know. But I still restore your civil liberties and your voice to speak out. Terry Collins, good evening. Welcome. The liberal progressive. Good evening. Good to have you here.
Cool. Thank you. And good evening to the rest of the panelists.
Well, you gotta pull light in your voice, please.
Dr. Jones, the newscaster, who wanted to be the newscaster at the same time, bringing his subjective ideas into the news as to whether we should the people should follow the kind of behavior that other country. Every time you read news, there's something we got to follow. I wonder we're going to follow it. Dr. Jones. This is
good observation. Good observation.
Taking your time to do that. Thank you.
Good observation.
He ready to label you. He ready to demonize you. New newscaster and all sort of talk. That's okay. I'm not gonna go in that. Okay, guys, we have all of you here. Thank you for all what you do, giving back to the community, Mr.
No. Let me say this on a very serious note, Mr. So. On a very serious note, on the entire platform, you are a true journalist. That's why you went to school for. That's why.
Hold on. No. Listen. Let me finish. Listen. Hold on. I am.
Can you let me finish my point?
You can talk to me on any other thing. We are already running late. You came late.
Okay, but hold on. Let me.
I should give you the mic and then you talk. Why would you tell me
the mic was mine. You grabbed it away.
No, I give it to you. I can take it back. I facilitate in the program, so you gotta be kind. Wait for your time. Do you want to participate or you want to be an international observer tonight?
Mr. So,
I've been threatening already. There'll be a United Nations observer.
Mr. So, I will say again, I hope that you will help to guide Dr. Jones in his newscasting, because this is what you do. You're very good at it. You know all of this stuff. I don't see a newscaster coming out and say after a newscaster say, I hope our country will emulate that. That's not newscasting, that's opinion. And that kinds of stuff should not be, not why you're sitting here and allow somebody to call himself a newscaster. I'm not too sure whether it's a grand newscasting business that he's on here tonight, but this is something that I need to speak to. Now you can have your mic.
You say you are Lofian, so why you can't call?
Yeah, but he's from Grand Gida. That's why I'm pointing to Grand Gida. That's why I said he's giving me Grand Gida newscasting. He's not from Lofa again. I'm from Lofa.
Wow, this is unbelievable. All right, let's get it rolling. Mr. Collins, good evening. Good to have you here. Mr. Bacon, Liberal Progressive. Today is Wednesday. All things considered. I captured something from what the news brief or headlines of different dailies here. Did I hear you say which state Congress, is that congressman or who senator said the what? They're calling the president to expedite the war crime court process?
Yeah. Oh, the senator. The senator, Republican.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a certain senator, one James Elliott Rush. He's a Republican representing the Idaho. He's a ranking member of the Foreign Relations. Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Liberian met. Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we're going to come to that, but let's give people the opportunity and see what some of the things they found interesting during the course of the week from Wednesday to Wednesday. A lot is happening here. Let's go to Minneapolis, Minnesota, where Terry Collins is standing by. Terry, what is capturing your imagination, or that is so much fascinating? So some of them can be bizarre within the political space in Liberia. What are you concerned from this Wednesday to Wednesday? What is lacking? Where is the progress being made?
Yeah, thank you for offering me the opportunity to express some, views. Actually, I have been studying. I've been studying, actually looking at President Boyka to study what kind of leader he is, to study him. And I've been looking at two categories of leadership. And one role of leadership is a leader who learned and implement what they have learned. And you have the leader who create and invent his own ideas. All right. That generations unborn will come and pick up and learn from. So I wanted to know what category President Boyka can be categorized in between the two leadership. And I'm beginning to understand that he could be a leader that implement what he have learned from his predecessors. All right. So if that is the case, then I'm looking forward to see a government that will only be sustained. All right. And not a government that will deliver, So, and my expectation is a government that will deliver. So that is what I've been studying, a case study that I'm building up for myself to give myself a projection so that I cannot expect too much too soon or too much from this government within a period of 6 years. And that is the same case study I gave to President Weah when he came to power. Within the first 6 months, I was able to deduce what kind of leadership President Weah would have offered Liberia, and all of that. So I'm looking at him and I'm seeing within the 3-4 months he have ruled for, I'm looking at a leader that have been called to sustain and not a leader that have been called to develop.
Okay, so in these
to
headlines,
deliver, sorry, not to develop, but to deliver. Yeah.
Okay, so in our beat here this evening, the headlines, let's keep it succinct. At least 1 minute, 30 seconds to recap what you want to say. No, that's okay. So from what I'm gathering from you before I go to the next analyst, your last projection with that of George Weah, it came to fruition. Were you correct in your prediction at the time?
Yeah, my prediction actually came true. Actually, and people that I talked to, they already know. I told them I both judging from a spiritual perspective and also from a predictive perspective. But in the latter end of President Weah, he started to he became innovative. I was very surprised when President Weah laid out the PHP park. When he did that, that is what we call creation. Because like that place, the history of that place, he came and he changed the dynamics. So now we got a different perspective of how that place looks, and leaders must be able to create. And that is what I was looking for.
We're going to come to the phase 2 of what was then and now. Is there a different perspective of former President George Weah? This is how you guys try to remodel and reconstruct cases here, and that's what exactly you're trying to do. Let me go to Mr. Jerry Bacon. Mr. Bacon, good evening. So welcome.
Greeting from the Ocean State, and so thank you for having me, and greeting to all the analysts.
Okay, so you could disabuse me, feel free. You are at liberty. We restore people liberty. We don't seize people liberty when we are in charge. Like unlike the other side of the world, that it is only about them and only about what they want to say. So here, let me throw you first in your area of expertise, the security sectors here. A lot is ongoing, but you have the right to speak to it and not to speak to it. We're hearing a lot of information from the DEA. There's some sort of hula bala, what is going on here. We yet to get the details of that. But from what you are hearing, I'm quite sure you have most of your folks on the ground. What are you hearing? Is there any information? Is there anything that is sort of hair scratch into you? Wait a minute, this is not right. Something needs to be done ASAP.
Yes. I emphasize 3 times because I wanted to let the Liberian hear it, let the world hear it. There are 2 things that, actually 3 things that caught my attention this week, or maybe last week. The fire issues in Liberia is a serious matter in Liberia. They need to be addressed, and the government need to hold those that are in leadership their feet to the fire. And it is not a joking matter. And it's about reflection, especially the new government. Hmm? The new government.
Oh, good, Bill Whaley.
And we need to speak the truth.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
We need to speak the truth. That's why we are here, to give analysis and make our recommendation to the Liberian people. And we need to tell the Liberian people this is what's
CEO,
going on.
I told you.
And the second thing that caught my eye was it happening in the past administration was not addressed. And it began ironic. The suspect died in the police cell. It's about reflection because the police cell is supposed to be a safe place where when you go there, your liberty, even though your liberty is seized, but it's a responsibility when you are in the custody of the police station or the police department. And I can go back in Brewerville, I think about 2024. There's a little girl that died, or I think she was a young woman that died in the police cells, and was an outburst. She died in the police cells. And this thing became the issues in our country, and we need to address the thing. Finally, I just want to give you something that catch my eyes. When it comes to the DEA, here is the DEA boss. Drugs were arrested. He said he doesn't have a knowledge how a guy in the country. And his deputy aware of it. So wait a minute. You want to tell me your boss, you as a deputy, drugs were arrested. You did not brief your chief? And let me just conclude. I listened to him, I think a couple of weeks ago. He made a statement. And I almost like, I'm going to get into the TV. He said, and I quote, he pre-financed operation when the DEA wanted to do a raid. Where in this world? Where in this world? You see, let me, it's a minute, I know. This is why when we go to court, we lose the case, then they say, oh, the government are corrupt or the judges are corrupt. There's something called extruded evidence. Because the way the evidence collected or is being collected, it cannot be admissible in the court of law. Look, what happened to the people that are arrested with all the high quantity of drugs? They were set free because to follow the rule of law. It's not public opinion, even the public opinion, but what is before the judge, that's what the judge going to go by. So I just want to stop there. These are the three things I can, 14 actually, 1, 2, 3, three things I came to my mind.
I think your body looks and by visual expression seems to have a divider role in these early stages of his conversation. Feeling very uncomfortable. Maybe he's thinking that you are pivoting in our direction here. But let me not come on, suffocate his own thought. The liberal progressive.
Yes, sir.
So you listen to Terry, you heard your patron, Jerry Bacon. Let's hear you. Where is your attention being drawn?
Thank you, and good evening to the rest of the panel and also to the listener. It's wonderful to be on here again. Thank God. But look, Mr. So, Jerry spoke well on these issues. We supported President Bakai, Ambassador Bakai at the time, not because we were members of Unity Party, but because we believe that he has the ability to rescue us. He has, because the hole that we found ourselves in during George Weah administration was just too deep. However, we're also now realizing what we suspected before, that it was just a matter of time before the old Liberian politician get into the cradle of President Bakar, whom we try to protect, in that if he's protected from falling into the bubble, then perhaps he will continue to do the Liberian people work. But once we find, because that's exactly what they did with President Weah, they put him in a bubble and pretend to say we're in your interest. And in the meantime, they seek everything to seek their own interest, and I think this is what's coming. But the difference here is this: unlike the CDC and sedition, we will not be quiet. And I think the good thing about President Baka, I believe, is that he has the ability to understand that even though some of us were on these little platform here and there, screaming that yes, indeed, President Baka must be elected. And now, if he had the opportunity to watch us now, not necessarily be critical of his policy, but that we are speaking with respect to things that we think need to be done, so that our country and our people will benefit from his leadership. And I think he has the ability to understand that we are not doing so with the mindset of vindictiveness and what have you. We're doing it strictly because this is what we believe, and he has given us the opportunity to speak our mind. That is the difference between this administration and the past administration. If you don't believe that, go and read Solomon George interview.
You sounding so much appeasing this evening, so kind. He knows he's on. He's in a different terrain. So, Mala Jones.
Yes, sir.
We're listening to these liberals on this network here. Their tone so softened and so more or less conciliatory here, which of course is not going to guarantee you their initial output, whether it's going to end up in final analysis of this conversation. So what is the liberal and his ally trying to prove here this event? Prove something different? What are they? Do you agree with them?
Yeah, I think I want to agree with Mr. Barker and Terry and even the liberal himself, because I think they are coming face to face with reality that Joseph Boakai, he's not an injured. He cannot allow Manon to fall in Liberia overnight. On the previous time, that was the belief that Manon will fall and those who in the pit will be resurrected the same day. But now they're coming to terms to believe that Boakai is a human being. And no matter what happened, President Boakai is just going to try his best. President Boakai said on Arise News Network in Nigeria, one of his interviews, he said he knows the problem of Liberia. And he knows what he's getting into. And I really believe him for that. He said, if President Boakai did not do anything in the last 12 years, I'm sure he paid attention to governance and the politics of the day. I'm very sure he did that from which he speaks, right? But the problem now is, and Mr. Barker stressed very important thing here. The man has promised to do certain things, but I want to elevate that conversation to the next level. And the elevation here is that I now foresee that the drug burning Mr. Barker just talk about. We don't know, but if we don't contain this thing in Liberia, it's going to break Liberia down, and no president will even manage it. So to elevate our conversation is that Boakai team, if he's not careful, his team will let him down. And I can remember one of the panelists said, oh, he can reshuffle. That is not the answer. That is not the answer. Because every member of the team, I'm not in their heart. They all get their different objectives. You see what Mr. Barker just talked about the drugs issue, the man talking about, he financing something from his pocket. Then last minute of the time, you go send huge bill to the government, and drugs king, he didn't see it, and his deputy saw it. What kind of game going on? That's a sad story. So Mr. Barker will try his best, but his team will be the problem. Now I see the information minister now. He encroaching now on the territory of the press secretary and the communication director at the executive mansion and even LBS. You see, the thing he's doing there, that is the job of the press secretary.
Okay.
They may be talking about some technical thing once in a blue moon. That's what will be the talking type. You see? But anyway, we'll go into detail. But what on my place tonight is, it's a question, maybe to the panelists who will help me look at it. Has the rescue team under His Excellency President Joseph Boakai forgotten about the tabletop issues in Liberia? So the next round, I will analyze all these issues, but it starts from hike in prices that affect the majority of the people. It starts from pure drinking water still now in our country, people are struggling. It also starts from increase in rentage, people, foreigners just bidding and increasing rentage in our place, creating some hardship. And about 8 of these things I have on my plate tonight. As the rescue team forgotten about the thing and only paying attention to the big thing, the war crime, I rest my case.
Okay, welcome. Good to have you here. To what a pending great conversation, hopefully to beat, but we will wait and see it. Of course, we anticipate getting the reaction from our viewers, our listeners. Their voices also matter into this thing here. But let me just go strictly into Mr. Backon's talking point, because I listened to portion of that and all of these little funny things going on here, because it was one of the strong arguments of the Unity Party, the rescue team, quote unquote, if you will. They managed to define CDC, the George Weah-led government inability to arrest the drugs situation, even to the extent it is under the other administrations, this increase of drugs influx into the country went at the highest high. And here we are, the DEA, who started aggressively with the busting of drugs places and other drugs now coming into the country. He is not aware. The deputy is aware. There seems to be a disconnect here. I'm not sure what is going on uh, in the overall office with respect to that, but I did listen to the Minister of Information. In fact, we reached out. We're pending to having here to have this sort of conversation here. But Jared, we want to tap in that here, and I think thank you for being honest here to speak out, because that's your area of expertise. In the security war, take us into the security war. Was something of a such, because it was one of the strong pillars of the president. He ran on to make sure the country is drug free and their aggressiveness to fight against drug. Here we are in the first 100 days. What are concerned me, how many, where it came from, the year to establish, but I believe from Ghana, they're trying to do all of this stuff. But where is the disconnect right now from the head of the drugs enforcement agency and that of his deputies? Something is not being properly coordinated. What is it? What is the missing link?
You see, in law enforcement, there are 3 principles: the wisdom of Solomon, the principle of Job, and the vision of Job. And what do I bring all these things? You see, don't be complacent. I listened to the DEA boss, and he was going to talk to the president. And the president said to, I think, one of the interviews, that he had confidence in the DEA boss. And when the president said he had respect or have confidence in you, you have a responsibility to prove to your boss that you are qualified, that your boss has given you the mandate and say, look, I have confidence in you. And I see that don't be overconfident because the president say you have confidence or your boss say you have confidence in you, so you become cocky. Because most of the time, having even in leadership. Guess what I want to do? No political historical perspective here. 1986, Ronald Reagan. We just said no to drugs. Just said no to drugs. Now, what this administration need, and not just say we're going to arrest the people, but we have to have Nicaragua drug something, and we that problem. But here's the point I want to make, folks. The drugs issue was one of Mr. Buckeye platform that we're going to make sure that drug issue is addressed in this country. It's one of the priority. And I'm still convinced that the president will deliver. But those that are in charge, you have to work. And you're not just there to wear the uniform. You are not there to say you pre-financing. If you say this thing, look, it lose your credibility. How can you say you're the DEA boss and you say you pre-finance agents? And I think one of the person asking, I think somebody asking, I think there was somebody on the panel list on the other network that he had an entourage more than the president. That he went to a restaurant and his answer was, these are security people that who are out of job, and he was using them. You can't do that. Look, let me be clear with you, CEO tonight. Hey, Jerry Bacon were appointed to NM Law Enforcement Administration. I need no bodyguard. I'm a trained man. I need no bodyguard. What do I need entourage for? I don't need it. People are supposed to be in the streets. They're supposed to be in the street. The agents supposed to be in the street. I need no bodyguard. Where's the manpower? So, look, folks, the drugs issue is an epidemic in our country, and we have to address it as soon as possible. Because you know what? It will go out of hand. They're using Liberian seaport, they're using our airline, they're using our every 3 minutes that they can get to that place.
Okay.
1 second, sir. And we need, I don't know whether the president will do it, but we need maybe a drugs act. Maybe I will make a recommendation tonight. They'll get a drugs act. Thank you.
Okay. You said the stage I will be compelled to bring in the liberals here. The liberal progressive.
Yes, sir.
Look, this story, they are not strange. These things have happened repeatedly in the past, and the possibility of them happening is still more likely. What is interesting and what I want to know is happened, what next will be done? Will we have different results? These things come to place. We will talk about them. There will be in both electronic and print media, analysts, pundits of different networks will give their own views and analysis. And at the end of the day, these cases submerge and we do not get anything. All we get is all correctness and blame game. This not happened, this play, this not happened, that play. It's disgusting. Now, will we see the end of this whole thing? Because it's there must be an answer. We remember how this just before the election, and we listen to that, the busting, the drugs that came, and it was this person, it was that person. Here we are. Where did it pass? Whether at the same Roberts International Airport or whether one of the borderlands, whatever it is, will we get a definitive answer to who are those responsible? And if those people are identified, will the law kicks in?
Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. So. As you know, I am not into law enforcement. I know anything about DEA, what are the policies is involved, and what have you. But what I do know is common sense. Mr. So, I think what is happening with DEA in terms with respect to this, the director and the deputy, it is uncalled for. The deputy need to understand that he's a very young man, and one of these days he might have the opportunity to serve in a higher position, and he will find himself disrespected or not obey and have issue because those things they don't end well. That's how far I'm gonna go on that. I hope the director.
That's
He
how
brought this.
far you're gonna go. In the
Oh,
past,
Mr.
you will come out. No, hold on 1 second here, because you try to play games here. In the past, you will call. You've never been a security person. You've never been a security analyst. In the past, you will ignore all of those and you will call for immediate action, either dismissal. Now you're talking like a tapper here this evening because you do not want to speak to the issue.
Mr. So, you can characterize as much as you can. You're not gonna move me. You know who I am. I will make my point. And as far as the director is concerned, he is a very intelligent person, highly educated. He will be able to handle it. So I'm not worrying much about it. What I think that is going to be affected in this little squabble among his leadership is the implementation of whatever policy that he's trying to put in place to help Liberia and Liberian youth in terms of drugs and the usage of drugs in Liberia. Now, though the drug issue business in Liberia, not just not business. Back in the day when I was growing up in Monrovia, they used to call it, in fact, they call it caro. It's 7 years if you get caught with one little stuff. They say 7 years. So with that kinds of fright of 7 years going to jail, some of us decided we're going to stay away from it. That's not something I don't want to go to jail for 7 years. But all kinds of mistakes have not disappeared completely. So they're going to have to come up with new idea on how to have Liberian youth to respect the rule of staying away from drugs. And those who are implementing, bringing in the drugs in the country, they are not there to have kumbaya with Liberians. They want to make money. Even here in the United States, you have the drug issue all the time. So Liberia and those who are trying to enforce the drug law, I would say they're doing their best, and we'll continue to pray for them, and we hope everything will be successful in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Can I come in 1 second, CEO?
Wow, this is in Jesus'
Can I come in
name.
1 second?
This is unbelievable. Go ahead, Barker.
You see, the DO, but he said something that really caught my heart. I know he got good heart. He said he visited somebody at the South Beach in the place, and there was a labor or liquor who he felt, and the man was crying that his either the son or somebody been or addicted to drugs, and he tried to help that child. So if you get passion on this thing, you have to have a policy. I listened to the interview. If you have passion about this thing, it's not about you anymore, about those that you representing, the agencies that you are representing. So I just wanted to make that clear. I mean, you're somebody, and I listened to the interview,
Yeah,
and spoke passionate about our child.
This is the interesting and bizarre things, and I'm going to make direct reference to before I go to Dr. Jones based on what I'm hearing from you, from my director at AB Kalulu Kroma. He's a good friend and brother. It's similar to that of Minister Jimama Wolokoli, the Rafi Highway. They blame the president, but she was one of the chief architects because she knows this guy, knowing very well this man does not have the logistic, the manpower, the resources. And the Liberal going to be at my state witness here this evening. If he's honest, he's going to say it. And this lady was bold to sit on the major network because this man was suffering. and you convince, you intervene, you allow now Senator Mangi and other people to influence the president. The hypocrisy, the deceit, and then you come back, you want to blame those people when you were one of those who helped to push that, knowing fully well, but because of your ties with this individual, and you claim this person was suffering and doing X, Y, Z, so you compromise the interest, not even the state, the country, because the person was suffering. Then you come back, you say, oh, this government is due. And then now you are offering advices, you are supporting this person. Now, what is the guarantor that you provide authentic solutions? Let me bring in Molly Jones. Jones, are you there?
Yeah.
This show not gonna go well tonight.
Are we going back to the security issue to have it exhausted and move on?
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah, of course. I just
You come and set the agenda.
the liberal, you gotta be very careful here tonight. I'm just telling you, whether the show will go well, because it's not going your way, so it's not going well, right?
I didn't know that my mic was.
Oh, you want me to Jesse Jackson? Now you gotta go, Jackson. Oh,
I hope you learned a lesson from Jesse Jackson, yeah?
No, that yeah, but anyway, what I want to say here is that from day one, when this guy was appointed, my conclusion was he was the wrong guy placed in charge of this thing.
Oh, God.
According to my research, Kroma is a former rebel commander in Ulimo K. He has so much human rights abuses on his hands. Friends that even know him. And besides that, like one of the panelists said, they draw issue. It's not just an event right now. The child soldiers. You know how many MPFL boys were drugs and making them so brave on the war front? That was even the genesis of all the drugs thing in the first place. All right. Kroma is not a stranger to drugs. That's the first thing. Tele, I use the word, he's the wrong bit. What can you get out of the ex-rebel fighters in civilized society? What else can you get from them? The country is poor. Drugs bring fast cash. All right? There are so many times, Mr. Bakontan, as we move on, there will be so many instances where people will compromise this thing at the detriment of the innocent children. And Kroma is going to do that. It's just starting. All right? Our President Boakai, you come on air talking about Droskin, you don't know where your deputy said this and that. I will have to send you over to the Justice Ministry first of all to start with investigation there and get an item there. But I think the bottom line here is we need a career person that understands the ramification, the dynamics.
Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones,
handle this thing.
Dr. Jones, let me intercept you a little bit here. And
right,
you listen to the liberal talking point here, right? He's giving waving a blanket, a white flag now. He's not a security person acting like a little baby, and he knows he can talk. In the past, he would come here and shout like a chihuahua and call for the president to take immediate action. He is not going that route. He's been politically correct here tonight, try to fine-tune his language. He's not saying those things that needs to be put out there and advises president, this person that he supported so much heavily, to say, hey, this is what need. How in the world such a thing happen and you the director? So what? No communication? Nothing? So are you saying he needs to provide more explanation? Is that what you're saying?
It's not a question of he need to provide more explanation. I think He's one of those that got job on the basis of convenience. These are special era. Terry, you know, back on labor, you know, in this country. To even work with these drugs children then in the hospital or prison or other thing, oh man, you must come from that background. You got to come from that background. I can't take my educational degree and go apply to be a counselor for drug business. Nobody will even listen to me with all the big degree. But even the certificate in that era where you specialize, you know the counseling, you know how to talk to these children, you know how to bring strategy. All right. The people will be chasing you.
Okay.
All right. And besides that, the rescue president set up a very top committee to work with the drugs people. You can remember. There's a big committee was set up to help the DEA people.
The entire country is saturated with committee.
So to be no, Mr. So will go into that thing. The whole play is being infested with committee. That's a fact. But here is the point. The committee going to even make things worse. The drug issue will taking it for fun. Joseph Barker will replace so many people in our drugs business. Stay will not go nowhere because he's placing the wrong people in the right hole.
Okay, let's go. We usually get comments from our listeners, our viewers, and I'll go to Terry on the wire. But this is what Khalifa Suman Jackson is saying. I think the DEA boss is too authoritative and he wants to take credit for everything done. Others in the agency. Okay, we know the background where these guys came from. They came from place. To be fair, he's a trained guy. He's former chief of staff. Said, war faction, this and that. I mean, but yeah, it's a black market can lead a black hand behind anyway. So Terry,
yeah, I think
how troubling is this? This is not what we want to see starting. This started on a good note. The bust and here and there and all of that. He brought in other people who he felt. I'm not sure whether it was with advice and consent with the president, I assume, because they also occupied directors' positions in this place here. Is there some sort of a disconnect here? What's going on here? Will we know? Will we get to the bottom of this?
Well, I think Mr. Mali is doing injustice to us by bringing in allegations against the DEA boss that he cannot really prove. What? This man was vetted. At least if you say allegedly he was part of the Ulimo J and all of that.
Go and do your research. He was a Ulimo J commander.
Yeah,
he was actually not J, Ulimo K. Chief of staff of
Ulimo K.
And that's how he became chief of staff and all of that, which of course is true.
Yeah, so what happened in here is that this man went through the ranks and file of the police.
Yeah.
He went through the ranks and file of the police. He's a legitimate police officer according to our laws. This man he went to the sitting with the Senate, and the Senate confirmed him on the basis of his credibility, his credentials, and the personality he brings to the table. Especially knowing him for many years. He's a man who I listen to that person, they say the man is authoritative. Or what his name, Kroma, A.B. Kroma had been police 102 for many years. And he served under other leadership even before that time. So how will you say the man is authoritative, blah, blah, and all of that? I think what we're not getting here, because even the man, when he was at the place there, at the Senate, he was asked a couple of questions, how you going to effect this DEA program? And he gave us how he going to do it. So by bringing people on board, we need to first establish, was that illegal? If it was, by now he would have been called by the House of Senate for evaluation, for investigation, because he cannot just take people and put people that do not understand what to do into the system that if there is no law that gave him the right to do that. So with that being said, the DEA boss, the only problem I have with him is his ability to come on the network publicly on public television and say that he was not aware of the drug bust. Even if you are not aware, you didn't need to come up to say it on public television because people questioning you, blah, 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 all of that. That's the only problem I get with him. But the inner fight, it goes on all the time. And I think Fadika is my problem. My problem is with the deputy DEA. And I think Labor may mention that. You come from America, you go to Liberia, you understand that you're trying to show off that you know something, you know, and you breaking a drug bust, you going through this thing, you did not inform your boss. That was gross insubordination. You understand? You did not inform your boss about what you carry on. Now the boss do not know how to defend you. So if anything goes really wrong, you know, yeah. What you say?
Yeah, you brought in something. Let's throw it in a bucket of the guy with the security background. I just want to get quick thing from him, and then you will end your point, Jerry. Trust me, Jerry.
Yes.
Temporarily, I'm not saying you should declare yourself as DEA director now, but for discussion purposes, you are the director. And I'll put you and your patron together because the two of you guys can agree. You guys, we don't, our conversation are in line. The liberal is your deputy. And the liberal, yeah, he's gonna be a worst deputy ever to be anywhere to be. The liberal is your deputy. And there was a bust. And assuming he did not tell you anything, and you bump into major cable wire and say, hey, we just got out news here. It's on the major cable news network. There's a boss here, Mr. Director. Can you speak to the media?
Yeah,
Do you
sure.
think what he did was that the right thing? Assuming he didn't even know, if you were in that position, how would you have addressed it?
Well, if you come to me right now and say, "Oh, there was a drug busting, let's say in Bo," and the deputy go on ahead, look, there's a procedure we go through in the fire wrangle before anything. It's such a magnitude. You as a deputy, there should be some information that I should be aware of it before I go. But here's the thing. I didn't know the circumstances. But what I will do, I'll tell the press, I will get back to you, or this is an issue. We are stay on an investigation, and this is what I was thinking about. That's what we're going to do. Okay? Can I come right now and say, I didn't know about it? No. Look, there's a bus that just went on, and we are still investigating because we don't want to compromise the integrity of the investigation. You know, then you go internal.
Yeah, but and then say, well, this operation was carried out by my principal deputy, but we will get the details to the media. So Terry, you listen to Jerry Bacon. Then you seem to be correct.
Yeah, because Mr. So you see, there are chain of command in every organization. Even right now on your network, there's a chain of command that we have to follow. If there is no chain of command, even the system that you're running with LPR and your journalists and all in the country, there are chain of command. Nobody is saying that you can't bust a drug, you can't do all that. You can carry on these things, but let it be done by procedure. Let your boss know what's going on. That's my own point. And I think Fadika is trying to make some name and break through the Liberian society so people can see him, because apparently maybe he wanted the position to be number one and he didn't get it. So he think that, you know, because I come from America with all this experience, I got money, I can pre-finance stuff and all of that. That is not how you run an institution. That's not how you do that. So A.B. Kroma should have been aware of what's going on, unless you tell me that you got some drugs bust that you carry on and A.B. Kroma don't want you to carry it on. Then that's a whole different discussion right there. But I think he broke rank, he broke procedure, and I think that Abraham Kroma should have exercised leadership too, by waiting. And if he were asked about the situation and he really did not know, which I doubt he did not know, but again he wanted to put his honor man in a predicament to the world to see that his honor man is disrespecting him, which of course is good too, but it's not good for the media. It's not good for us. Now it become
it's
the
not,
network is bad.
yeah.
I'm
Let
not.
me. I'll bring into the liberal here. You know, it's sort of
Yeah.
most of these shows. You know, people have them, and by the time you look, and people love to be before the camera, they will not even listen to the discussions. They will not digest it. They will not get all of the resources. By the time I go out, there's no way that I can be on this program, me, and just abruptly and just call somebody. Oh, we're talking this. What you got to say? And then put any any persons with a hair on their shoulder. I don't care how you love the news. You can't do that because you are just not perfectly suited. Know the conversations. And like your referee said, there's no way that the editorial staff of an institution, somebody would just write an article or just go
My
on
phone
like
ready to do.
post
Let me
something
go
there
and come back.
without the editorial knowing about it, without the editorial approval. You can't do that. Even if for some reason it was posted and you just missed that, there is a way that you're going to fine tune it, because if you just get out as a hair and say you don't know it, then you just screwed everything up. Marley Jones, we
Yeah.
intend not to just focus on only on this yet. There are other things you guys brought out here. Let's do our last spinning and then we'll go to your point. You are
Yes.
a good you are a good communicator too. You are a good communicator. Let me not just say two. You are a good communicator. What
Yeah, I don't know what really happened in the DEA, to be very frank with you. But here's the parallel I want to draw. You see, those are all that come here and go to school and are impacted with different way of saying things, different leadership style, different approach to a whole lot of stuff. I compare to our brothers who I will refer to them as our homeboys, who maybe never had other different set of exposure. Sometimes there can be friction. Yes. And I think that what's happening right now, because I want to see the people profile. The deputy here, I don't know, but he up to stand up when it comes to the DEA thing, from what I read, as compared to his boss. All right. I read a both profile. And the manner in which they handle thing here, probably he trying to tell that concept there. And that concept is, I got nothing to hide. Anything that come, it has to be exposed. People involved, we got to talk about them. There's no compromises. And when you come from that kind of background now, there can be a clash with a background in Liberia.
Internet is not. Yeah.
Yes. For example, you see when John Molu came on Spoon TV and start talking here, Tabata, how people assigned to him, when they're not qualified, he got to recommend to the president. And this year, we got to do it in such a way that it should be transparent. The African society not used to this kind of thing. But those are good things. When he looked in Helen Johnson said, eyeball, and said, look, you are the most corrupt president I ever audited. Ellen said, okay, I will now renew your contract. And the EU paying you, but they got to ask me to recommend. So what I'm coming from here is that maybe there's a clash in leadership style down there. That's what I see here.
okay.
The deputy, he feel that there's nothing to hide here. Anything, it got to be exposed. But at least the chief of command, like Terry said, But then if I come to Terry, I say, oh man, this thing is epidemic. We cannot keep this thing. It cannot stay for 24 hours. We got to burn it. Because Terry is a homeboy. They've been passing this thing all these years, getting involved, hiding something, letting some people go, and he want to introduce it to me. I said, no. Transparency is
Okay.
easy. You see,
Let
so
me bring in
I think there where some of the problem is coming from.
there where some of the problem is coming from. The Liberal Progressive, I see you working, moving here and there. I think you have been fairly treated here on this network tonight. So I'm
No,
not
he
sure
coming to
why.
attack me now.
Yeah, he's been fairly treated. He's been speaking his mind. Nobody holding him back. I'm not sure why he keeping himself so sorrowful. The Liberal.
Mr. So, I'm just going to say this here. Again, in these type of conversation, these are very serious conversation. And we want to present ourselves as some of those who conversation is contributing to the upliftment of the overall conversation about Liberia and about Liberians. And so when we speak, either be here or on our own show, we want to take it as serious as possible. So let me say this yet again, Mr. So. Why I do not profess to be anything close to having law enforcement background or what have you. I'm an engineer, civil engineer by training. And this is what I've been practicing for the last 30 some more years. So I am quite versed in that area. However, I'm a Liberian and I do care for anything that have to do with Liberians and Liberians' life. Now, Mr. So, the DEA and his deputy, I am not in a position to say one way or the other, recommendation or condemnation. That's not what I'm going to be doing. Because those of us who believe in institution, we expect the institution to work. And in order for you to have an institution that will work or that should work, first thing the institution must be, whatever conflict or whatever it is that's happening within the institution must be resolved inside the corridor of the institution. Now, if that process does not able to resolve that and was not successful, then perhaps you can seek outside intervention. And at this time and at this particular moment, that process has not come to us yet. For us to come out here tonight and make a declarative conclusion or decision as to what is happening in the corridor of the DEA. All I can say is that first thing, and I'm from Town, they say the old man can't say it can be the first person to see the ugliness of the bamboo. And since
You
I
from
am
where?
outside, Mr. So, I'm not going to repeat myself. Let me just say that I will not be out here tonight.
Do they have total in Lofa?
Okay, no, I mean Town Lofa, yeah. But Mr. So, on a very serious note, let's give these people the opportunity to work out whatever it is that red is ugly hair in public. They will deal with it. They know each other. They respect each other, and they will work among themselves and be able to resolve this. Now, as far as Dr. Madi's conversation with, and I don't want to amplify that. Not that I don't want to dignify it, because Dr. Madi himself is a very dignified person, and most of the time, he doesn't come out here to say something without some proof. Most of the time, and I say most of the time, not all of the time, and because sometimes he will come in with a subjective idea with no proof whatsoever. But most of the time, as an intellectual and as an educated person, Dr. Madi is always coming in to provide some evidence. So I'm not going to say I don't want to dignify that, but I do not want to play into his and your playbook in terms of how you want to direct us to follow your lead. We will not fall into that. We know who we are. We know what we want, and we will stick with our own. You're not going to bamboozle us to follow you. So, Dr. Marley, with all your investigation, research, or whatever you have done on Director Kroma, please publish it. Publish the research, and some of us will follow to try to read it. Other than that, I have no comment on that.
Let's take this quick obituary break, and we'll be right back. We want to interrupt this interlude of music to bring you this obituary announcement from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. Sunrise, January 27, 1958. Sunset, March 22nd, 2024. It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of our beloved father, husband, grandfather, brother, uncle, cousin, Jerry Zia. This sudden event occurred on the morning of March 22nd, 2024, at his home in Ramsey, Minnesota, USA. He leaves to mourn his beloved wife, Lancourt Annette Urit Zia, his children, Geraldine Zia Adams, Ninety Talit Zia, Pa Zia, Florkent Saliv, Bianca Zia, and Gerald Zia, his sibling Wasent Zia, Samuel Zia, Arnold Zia, Helenont Zia, his grandchildren Selenant Kotu, Emmett Adams, Jermaine Adams, Shawinant Adams, Amoyat Zia, and Iranian Zia, in addition to nieces, nephews, cousins, and in-law. He is predeceased by his parents, Bokos Zia and Rube Zia of the Republic of Liberia, his brothers, Joseph Zia and Josiah Zia. The homegoing celebrations are planned for the weekend of April 26 and 27 in Minnesota, USA. This obituary announcement was brought into Liberia Public Radio by the widow of the deceased, Lancourt Annette Urit Zia, and children. Okay, I know this is a tough one. The Liberal Progressive, that's our own brother, our own father, our own uncle, cousin, the late Jerry Zia, passed. His homegoing celebration to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Actually, is that next weekend we're going something?
Yes, on the 25th, 26th, 27th.
It's 27th. I can't believe it, but it is why it is. So if you are here, not just on the obituary announcement, conventions, what about reunion to graduations? If you need coverage for that, just let us know. The number is 682-433-8802, and we can be part of your happiness. What true political confections took place? We're going to listen to this, and we're going to have a little conversation.
The following comments. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. We are officially homeless. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Unfortunately, last night, my family and I experienced a devastating fire at our home. In the past few months, many Liberians have experienced devastating fires. Some have lost their lives. Unfortunately, nothing happened to any one of my family members, so I'm grateful for that. But this is just to say these incidents are not confined to a certain group or a certain class of people. Until we fix our broken system, until we do those things necessary to help our people, we cannot save ourselves.
That's the Speaker of the House of Representatives. We're going to chip into that, and I saw the Liberal playing that. That was a very, very much touching. We had true confessions. We had officially displayed, but he removed himself from out of the pictures and empathized with the situations ordinary Liberian. Let's have our conversation here. I'm going to be putting the number out here as well so we can allow our viewers to also make their contribution here. So, Mr. Bacon,
Yes, sir.
what's the nice talking point you want to enjoy? There are other things we have been talking about here.
Mr. So,
Yeah.
before Mr. Bachman comes in, if you mind, I want to make a comment on the video that you just played, please.
Oh boy, it would not come with fanatical fire against it.
Yes, yes. It's very important. Let me make this point. So the day of the fire, you got. I mean, you know my relationship with Flantikofa. So the day of the fire, I call him, and the evening time now, I call him, and I was very distressed, to be honest with you. And the interesting comment from Kofa as I call him, then no speaker, nothing, because it was a very personal. And he just told me, Big Brother Samson, what are you worrying about those things for? Those are material things. But what he has done, he said, before he went with his stuff, what he has done, he said, he has opened eyes and opened door opportunity for us to achieve greater things for our people. I'm not the only fire victim in this country. And I thought to myself, here's a young man, little brother, that I called to express my grief over his property. And here he is, immediately putting the Liberians first on this. And that's who Kofa is. And if you even listen to the press conference, immediately after good morning, he went on to put Liberia first. He didn't cry because his property had been damaged. He didn't. So I just want to make that point. Thank you very much for allowing me to once again educate you and Mali about Flanty Kofa and how good he is for the Liberian people. So the next time when we come on this platform and the liberal progressive and the guru, the political guru, decide to somehow disabuse you and your group, please listen to him because he's very versed on these political issues. He's a political guru. He's not just here on your platform as a flower dressing that you can pack anytime you want to. So, Mr. So, you see what I'm talking about. So I told you President Baka was going to win. He won. You guys were disputing everything here. And then one minute, Dr. Malley is from Tota. Another minute, Dr. Malley is next door to that. No, we're not taking that. We're in control. The second thing I told you, Francis Kofa was going to win because he's not winning because of himself. He was going to win to help implement President Bakai a developmental agenda, and you people doubted me. You people were on here. Why would President Bakai want to pick somebody who is from that's Dr. Henley? Why would he pick somebody who is from the opposition side? He shouldn't do that. And yet still, you guys need to understand the guru is here, and I'm here to stay. Thank you for the time. If you want to take my leave, then I can do so. Thank you very much.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Dr. Toto is joining us from Pittsburgh. Dr. Toto, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Apostle, and good evening to the rest of the panelists here today.
Yeah. Let's hear you. I know you've been following the program. Let's hear you. Who is the most ridiculous person here tonight? As usual, Samson Toe, right?
Well, I'm speak for the bottom. But let me just
thank you.
Let me just start with the press conference first for Kodati Kofa. Then before I come to the other era. You know, when I listen to the press conference of Kodati Kofa, you know, these are some of the times now when people who journalists were very hard as in to ask a very critical question when these things are happening. But at the press conference, I don't know, because of sympathy, some of the critical questions I expect to be asked, I want to ask. First of all, I think Kofa said that we are reached out to you 2 suitcases of clothes. Everything. So I go more deeper into that question. How did they happen? How President we are just came up with 2 suitcases of clothes lead street for Fanatic Kofa because of fire disaster they gave it to him. You know, I go if I was there in that press conference, I wanted to I go more deeper, you know, that caution of death penalty for it.
Right.
You know, yeah, but it was that done that way. And then also to come with discussion to the whole issue of the deputy and the boss himself, David Koba and Fatika. You know, if you went to school here also to learn that Fatika, they come go for different culture. You know, to go to Liberia. We are in the diaspora, sometimes we like the corporate in the corporate setting. You know, this conflict will happen. But most of the time, the institution that we're working, we had training program that everybody go to. You know, it tells us what the zero income training to learn. You know, when people come together for the cultural background, clashes, and see how to deal with it in hospital situation. I think those are the same what was supposed to be. We type of program and teachers for the same what will come up with able to provide training to people, you know, because Liberia become or diverse countries that when you government company, people clashes and see that coming up. But I think the best way to resolve this type of issue would be us. You know, it's not coming to make it because they fight for us in Liberia and also our justice system and also to address a serious problem. You know, this type of situation. I don't know. Look at what happened. We don't know how well the government continues to do to high profile cases. Look at what happened in the guy that was acquitted for attempted murder that girl some time ago. I don't know how well the case was presented to the court and how the Solicitor General, the government for that case, but they acquitted for attempted murder. It created a serious outcry on our justice system again. The city happy great President Wiata again, but there was no sufficient evidence to prosecute the judge dealer to acquit again. So it continued to create serious outcry on our justice system. I don't know how the guy can really fight the accusers in Liberia and then the guy just walk away free. Just to add to the
Okay, if you want to hang on there, you can hang on. Let's hear from the second number before I go back to the analyst. 202 number 2214. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is Breakable Power.
Oh my goodness.
You know, I wanna be a first of call, but thank God hold me back to be second to call. To listen to Toto. Did I listen to Toto say questioning Francis to cover or receiving or sweeping or close? And want to know why you know receiving a suitcase? Is this question President Baga who get 50,000? I mean, if it's to if I get it, is the question that you question about close, but you forgot the money that the President Baga give the people. You don't know where they get it from. You don't question it, but you question about close. So these are things you say. If you want to come to the other person, receive a gift, they other person get a gift, and that question that person, then you are a buyer. No, that can be the issue. Look, if I could get around Mr. Jerry, I'll come put him on back. Mr. Jerry, I agree with you today. 10 million.
So you're throwing the river and are you a Jerry on your back, please?
I'll come put him on back. Jerry is a bad man on our whole show today. The man is so clear and sincere. Look, this thing is people. This man, he will not put a agenda when he said, oh, the deputy you can blame. The deputy guy wrote a big play. It meant a key commander. And first of all, everyone himself admitted that the judge incident, he heard about it. He heard about it that the judge came to put it that incident was lost. But you see people there, or even you take people there, the people there say that is not just. So as a human, I want to make sure that a very serious to first judge. You went to common training at that house, at that piece of judge. You went there. And really people are so on there. Just come to the airport. When you know airport is one of 2 people jogging customer, and you know about it. Why you send on one traffic and send people there? If you should see for judge party. But you don't want to go to your house and go right there for just. But if you choose to go to the airport, where drop people, when they say drop you, they say you heard about it.
Okay, thank you so much, Breakable.
So
Thank
So
you.
if you see about jeopardy, you shall go there.
All right.
And only see about the president.
What you do?
The president called. I listened to some the former on cover. The president himself should have fired those people by now. If you say you want first correction or what we see here, if you see those things happen, you should have fired them. Instead of calling them on concern and try to begin them, is that correct?
Okay. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for the show.
Okay. So, okay, let's see. Okay, let us. Okay, we call this caller. Yeah, let's see the caller and then go back to the lamp. Caller, are you there? Caller from 614.
Yes, 614. How you doing, Mr. So?
Good. Good evening. Welcome. What's your name and where you calling
Yeah,
from?
this is Willie from Dallas.
Okay, let's hear you.
So, my problem, this is where Liberia or Liberians are suffering. The hypocrisy. The past 6 years, we used to hear some big words from my local family, some local men, and from Ethiopia. The incompetent. Everybody in Georgia government was incompetent. But today, United Security expert, we don't know what's going on. If we continue to do this kind of thing to Liberia, that's what they will not go anywhere. This is the same incompetence that's going around. People are fighting one another. Taking bites and put they know about it. Those things are going on, but we try to cover it up because we claim they are experienced, we claim they are educated people. So nothing like that, nothing called incompetency in Liberia today, but it's all over the place. Government, president appointing director, minister to one position partner. Then we won't be what? They say, oh, they want a super C, they want. What kind of country are we? Where are we going?
Super CA1.
When you listen to the press conference, they always say, oh, they are a position or they are a equipment super C, they want. During those time, they are incompetent. They are inept. And how about the view are looking for?
Yeah, but this guy with the blue shirt, that's one of his favorite.
You know what is going on? They educate people, they experience people.
Okay.
Go one time chief. We attend 5 people to one time chief. It's bad.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, sir.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from 203-9037. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, this is Wilson. How you guys doing?
Keto, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. I want to speak about the DEA, and if you give me the chance, I can even put something in there that's very important, very dangerous. That I'm understanding coming from our country. Well, so the DEA, the problem between the deputy for operation and his boss. And I think everybody on a different level when it comes to operating. Fatiga, he's been working in America as a security person, professional security man. A.B. Kuma never worked in America as a security personnel. He worked in Liberia as a security personnel. He never had a training from his very beginning of his security career. He came to the security sector as a former rebel commander that he did power sharing during the 90s, and how he got his position climbing up in the security apparatus in Liberia. So Fatiga come from a professional standpoint, and there will always be a clash because Fatiga want to do the right thing, A.B. Kuma want to do something else that's different from what Fatiga normally do on the side. So it should just sit down and understand that, look, when these things happen, it's not coming to the public space and pull all the anger. It should sit, behind closed doors and sort it out the best way possible. But I think they're doing a great job back there in the fight for drugs. Another thing that caught my attention over the week is this training of some Malaysia in the country. And the person name that is headed this training is alarming because I think I told Mr. So a couple of times that I saw this individual openly confess that he is the general, the commander for the Rescue Defense Force during the protest of the army wives. They were at the president's house with men, and the president acknowledged that yes, he knew that he was there. And then fast forward now, recently they are training in black uniform. That's why I got the general, the director for the drug enforcement concerned when he sent people to go check, and the farmer, he said it on spot, he said no, it was not good for by the drug enforcement who were recruiting them. And I said no, we got no, we're not recruiting anybody. And come to find out it was the Rescue Defense Force doing it. I just want to ask the media, back in the day, when they heard that, oh, there was zebra or security zebra unit at the city hall, and Jefferson County had men with black who were not our security, but they were training their own security. It was all on the media. It was bad for our society. Today we have somebody who notoriously, his name is all over for killing our people, of rebels in the name of God making, training people that is endorsed by the present president, and we're not even allowing it. How hypocritical it is for us, even as media practitioners and Liberians who frown at these things and they're not even saying it, they're just keeping it on the wall. What will happen if those people go out there and commit atrocity? What can we say now to them? What can we say now to them? That's my concern tonight. Thank you very much.
What a legitimate question. Dr. Toto is still there? Let's go back to the line. Thank you. Okay, I think he's gone. Okay, so let's go back to the live field, guys. There are some critical, legitimate questions. And I think somebody from Chicago to put the liberals into a spotlight, some of these words. You know, the people listen to you here. When you're talking your tabatat, there are people taking notes. Now, those things are coming back to bite you. And you're acting like you on your phone, you base it because you do not want to listen to the minds of the people. But you sit on this network, you say it any kind of way, and then you come back to tell us. I remember when in Sano I used to play marble. There's a guy tape on keyboard, very high. That's the same thing you do. My hair cafe, nobody more. I was wondering whether you from Sano area. Then you come back here and tell us your hair not fit in anybody more. Nobody here. I can pull your hair. Don't even make me to say something I don't want to say here tonight. Be here there. What am I going to put in my mouth for? To do what? Look, but on a serious note, this guy, he asked a question. And I would wanted Dr. Toto to answer the question. Maybe the liberal or Mr. Jerry Washington answer this question here.
Which one? Somebody spoke about the Rescue Defense Force. The Rescue Defense Force.
No, not a defense force. Breakable asking people to the liberal try to walk fine line here.
That breakable question with that one I'm coming to waste my time on. That breakable question I'm coming to waste my time on, Mr. So. No way.
What was breakable question? What was his question?
He said we didn't ask, even though we asked, and people that liberal then throw our way that we didn't ask where the president at the time got his money from. Was that a legitimate question?
No. Listen. You see, before you ask questions, it's a reflection of yourself. President Boakai at that time was president-elect. Okay? Maybe he have forgotten. There are two distinctions here. Property lost and lives lost. What makes the difference there? Just by the speaker lost his property, but listen to his press conference. He said, just fight. I lost property, but there were no lives lost. Boakai went to Torota. How many people died? 60 Liberians. Or more than that. But because there were other people, the people who died on the scene. If you go there today, I was there in January. I was there. I saw the van is still parked there. Then for you to come and ask question where Bwaka get his money from. We talk about life. We're not talking about property. You can replace the property, but those are down today. The children will not see their parent tomorrow.
So what are you?
So the question,
The question is irrelevant.
The question is, I mean, it's I'm trying to find an adjective to describe it, but I don't want to use it.
Oh,
Eh?
Come on.
For him to come with good conscience. Let me put it this way. I want to be a little bit diplomatic. With good conscience, you can, Joe, we are getting 2 cases, and the poor question, Joe, we are already getting 2 cases. You talk about life. These people will never see their children, they will never see their father again. Even those are burned. So was it wrong for Baka to go there to get what? 60 or what? Or $50,000 or $60,000?
So it was not important to make a disclosure, right?
What do you mean? You get somebody money and I'll come and ask you where you get your money from? Or because it means because of If I go somewhere right now and say, okay, listen, no, don't be realistic here.
Wow.
Sponsors of students in Monrovia. Sponsor more than students. They all my scholarship in Liberia. Then somebody can question me, Jerry, where you get money from to sponsor people in Liberia? Where you get money from?
No, you're a private citizen. But he's a public servant.
So you want to tell me every public servant in Liberia that anytime they make donation, they gotta disclose it? Where they get the money from? Listen. The man been working for 40 some more years. LPRC managing director, LPNC, and fire president or president-elect. So you want to tell me he ain't got no money?
Guys, this is unbelievable.
You want to tell me he ain't got no money? But anyway.
Okay. Let me add a liberal voice. We are already out of time here, and I know he's going to sound more ridiculous than just how you've been ridiculous. You're not answering the question. You're telling us different thing here, stuff here. The liberal, do you want to answer that question or a waste of time?
Yeah, waste of time. I've been answering already. So do answer. I already answered it. You know, don't waste your breath.
Of breakable, we enjoy that on the platform, but these type of questions. They are something that I won't even dignify. Let me use that again. On him, I will use. Look, Mr. So, the man been working all the year. Let me speak the real life. You old to be your grandfather. You mean by you get money? And you mean you get money. Because the first year you say the man say you are living on loan. So he ain't got no friend that can get money.
From
and
where?
When he made that contribution,
from where?
Has he taken office yet? Or he was a president-elect? Man, your fan play to sit down, man.
Terry, you want to respond to any of them? Your friends?
Well, actually, it just sound comical, you know, because of the man raised over 300,000 on Spoon TV for his campaign. All right. The man is a political institution. He won the election. He became the president-elect. He won the election. And you don't even know what money left over. He negotiated with his party that, oh, yeah, they'll carry 50,000 to the people and will agree upon. And they decided to do it. So he was not president then. But I think the concern here is when somebody spoke about president, we are carrying, I don't know how many suitcases to Fonati Kofa versus President Boga giving 50,000. And I think Dr. Toto said that. And I think that is where the issue became alarming. And that is where that person fit in that particular thing. So what about President Boga? And if you look at it too, the person got a legit concern too. If you think that why should President give 10 suitcases, where he got it from? So the man too asking you what President Boga got his own money from too. So it become a convoluted stuff. But hey, these two people are presidents. They are presidential material. They can do whatever.
Wow.
You know. And what his name? What his name? President I don't know what Dr. Toto was coming from. But this man is President friend. You must understand that. And that man lost everything.
You're not even answering my question yet, though.
Yeah, your question is.
Your question,
what your question?
You will not depart from these two gentlemen here, who are every
The man answered the question the way he understood it. The man gave you the answer the way he understood it.
What a question, Mr. So
Whether
whether if President,
where he got that money from. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. And the people can say President Boga now, baby. The man, boy, they already say President. They already say President Boga now, baby. So, so I think, Mr. So, that we got to realize that this man have money. All right, 50,000 LD. Not anything for that man. The man can come to America. The man get people say the man doing pacemaker. The man get medical. Blah blah blah. People giving the man money. The man can come.
That's not what I didn't talk about his.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to say that if the man can afford all these things, the man can afford 50,000. More to that, the man already happy that he won election. So even if he get his last penny in the bag, it doesn't touch him to say, you know what, for the victims that lost their life, let us give this money. I don't think we need to be trying to justify because the man is a president-elect, he's not president-elect, so he's not supposed to be receiving gifts. I agree with that. It is corruption when you receive any gift, whether you're president-elect. Once you become president-elect,
so
you're not supposed to receive any kind of
Then why you don't agree with? Was that a gift? You think that was a gift given to him?
That's what I'm saying. That could be a personal money.
Sticking with this one topic all night.
No,
that could have been a personal money.
You need to find answers to these things that are generating, that are causing problems in the country. You are very uncomfortable.
They're causing problems for who? Not for me. We need to build the roads. We need to feed our people. What problem they want causing? Not causing problem. It will not causing, generating issue for those of you that are considered to be, and I will be very nice, outside of the Wakai intellectual company.
But the thing Keto was saying, I wanted to ask Keto a question.
Let me go to Jones here. Let me see. I think I get a one call or the person go. Mala Jones, I know we are already out of time. The Liberal would never answer these questions. Jerry Bacon would never answer these questions. Terry Collins came and pulled a Ghana suit over so obviously they're not going to answer their questions. They are the three that are all they kind of stick together. They are some sort of bound between them. But look, Mr. Independent, that's how Dr. Independent, that's how I'm going to be calling you now.
Jesus, Independent again.
We are about to go home. We see people being very dishonest at the highest height. Political commentators, pundits, instigators, confusion.
Instigator on this platform. Instigator, Mr. So.
Who don't speak the truth, then you are. And you try to avoid dodge questions and try to frame it in your own context that it will be understood of people. You think that you're going to just use a whitewash on people. Yeah. Amara Jones, let's hear you. Was that a legitimate question?
Well, depending from the lens it's coming from. But to be very frank with you, these responses should not be surprising to you, Mr. Soul.
Absolutely.
Okay. Even if you wake up and they wake you up the next second, you should know the response will be a chorus response. They are very well jointed.
You know, plenty.
Yeah, but let me say this.
The doctor.
I know, Mr. So you maybe you're gonna disown me on this, but I have to say it.
No, I respect people's view though.
How can you preempt the man? What you gonna do?
Well, to be frank with you, it's very shameful to see a caliber like His Excellency President Boakai, who is an embodiment of a well-respected value system.
You got 5 minutes. I can yield to you myself.
even almost for the 40 years he was tested with corruption, he still survived. And I expected him to weed out rebel faction elements in his government. But instead, he has validated them, legitimized them, and he even went as far as putting them on taxpayer money. Can you imagine that? It's a sad day. I'm telling you. These analysis I'm making should have been to the advantage of President Weah, but not Joseph Boakai, where experienced man. You came to use a rake to remove the dirt. Now you're legitimizing and allowing the taxpayer money to go to a gentleman like Kroma. Can you imagine that? It's a sad day. And it's not only that. I've been told by other sources, yet to be verified, that 9 out of 10 policemen are all rebel, are all former rebel. Can you imagine that? Yet the judiciary is wrapped in systemic corruption, according to the State Department Human Rights Report. And Boakai is just comfortable with all these things. Look at all the killing that went on in this in the past government. All right. Are they even going to review these things there to bring justice to the family? So what I'm coming from now tonight is like Joseph, His Excellency, he just okay with this whole thing that Liberia, the government he took from, the only problem he see there is corruption. He just okay with the rest of the foundation. That's shocking. Very shocking. To add to injury, he has even ignored the tabletop issues that affect the common people in Liberia, majority of whom voted him into power. Prices are still high, people are crying. All right? Pure drinking water, according to my sources, almost half of the people in our Montreal town, not forget about Liberia. Liberia part the heater and other places, they live on creek and rivers. In Moravia, people still drinking from well water, from wells. All right? And I see the president just talking on how Calabar issue. Today, my old man called me. The rest I used to buy $20. It gone to $23.50. I asked her, where is the rescue team you voted for, man? She said, my son, I'm disappointed. All right? I yield.
Do you need more time, Dr. Jones?
Why you want to give him more time? Or why would you even suggest that, Mr. So?
Can you stop disrupting the program, please? I'm asking. I didn't ask you. I say I'm asking whether he needs time.
CEO, yes, I need time, but let me refresh. I'll come back.
Okay. Terrell Collins.
Yes, sir. So I think Mr. Mali is speaking from a personal perspective because he have his mother. I can feel her pain, you know, and he don't want to send that little money to the place for the woman to buy a rest. You understand? So I know where he's speaking from. I feel a pain, but let us take sentiment and personal.
So here is advice for Dr. Jones. lower expectation again.
You know, we feel your pain, Dr. June.
I agree with you, Sis Esther.
This government is 4 months in power. And guess what? Just 4 months in power. You want them to face electricity. You want them to the respect that to control everything. It's not possible. Don't tell what type issue you're talking about are things that have been in existence for years. People have been drinking from the creek. People have been drinking from the creek for years. Even Joseph Boka himself drank from the creek and the river.
So
are you understanding me? No, give me chance now. I didn't say so. But I'm trying to say, within 4 months, you don't expect everything to happen like that. That is why you yourself admitted that he's discussing hard issue. And I thought being a doctor, you're supposed to know that when you discuss hard issue, is to prepare. Because the hard issue will give birth to the soft issues. The higher issue will solve the problem of the soft issues. That is why you see him discussing with billionaires. All right, billionaires from what? From metal steel that is able to create jobs and opportunities for our people. You see him discussing with the power, power, the energy, the source, energy sources. He's discussing with these people on live television because when electricity comes, all these things will happen. We're discussing water. I think there's an executive order that he raised on water and sewer. So there are so many things that are going on that you're not following up on. Okay. And I am surprised that you are not. Mr. I'm not even letting Mr. Su coming up, but
that's why you never touch down because
I know you will not let me learn. But your doctor you got tonight, I understand that he's in his doctor position, but he is really missing the mark tonight very highly. You know, he talked about A.B. Kuma giving people drugs. Why he get proof for that kind of thing? Those kind of allegations are very aggressive.
No, I'm still alive.
I didn't hear you.
I never told.
Oh no, go replay the tape.
No.
You not say getting drugs. You not say that.
No, we're not even correcting you. I never say A.B. Kuma.
No, you say you never say you getting drugs.
No, you said the man was a rebel.
Ask me to repeat myself.
Okay, what you said, Mr. Mali? What did you say? Because we're gonna go back. I'm gonna go back after the show to watch it.
You not believe it? Ask your
Okay. Let move forward, right? I'm saying
their drugs business started from the war. When most of the children were even on hard drugs, especially in the MPFL. All right. A rebel friend commander. I mean, a rebel.
You just said that 9 out of 10 police officers are rebels.
I said according to sources. Don't when you quoting me. But, carry a verbatim.
What I expect you to be saying. I expect you to be using the word allegedly.
No,
but you say according to sources is anonymous.
I can't say.
We can trace that. We can track it. So it's not real story.
No, Terry, I have the right to tell you according to sources. I have that right.
Okay, I agree. Right?
But you said the sources are his informer.
But besides that, let me tell you something here. The issue of the price hike. Don't you know that the common people that voted you in power, they all affected in that sector? Then you telling me you want to do a war control?
All right, we are
Mr. Mali.
Hold on, guys.
Before you even talk about,
he intercepted me, Mr. So he interrupted me.
Yeah, Mali Jones, hold on. 30 second line of time. We need to.
Yeah. So you know, first of all, we got budget that is right now in the house that the house refused to pass because over 50-some million was deducted from the money. Okay. How you expect this government to function? Nothing just going to happen overnight, Mr. Mali. And all those things that you're talking about, 9 out of 10 police get rebel. Those are anonymous allegations. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just give me a chance. Those are anonymous allegations that cannot be proven and will never be proven because our security apparatus went through reform. They have been able to sustain the peace and bring stability to our country security-wise for over a decade now, since the war took place. You must learn how to give them credit. Thank you, Mr. So.
I will challenge you to produce the facts on our refund.
So, okay, here we are, 3 versus 2. So obviously, you're going to see this sort of bone of contention with the laborer and his folks doing everything possibly can, giving justifications of the action and building those barriers, those barricades to put a strong defense line. It is sad. It is a clear indication that we have a long way to go.
Could you please put up Dr. Toto's statement where he said Dr. Jones is in CDC mood tonight? Can you put that up?
Why are you always looking for things that you think that is in your way?
I say, Mr. So,
my hands are amputated. I can't. My keyboard like I can't press anything. Okay, guys, we've got to wrap go. Yeah. So let me. I think there's something here my hand can reach to. I need to pull up here, but hopefully I find it. Okay, but we gotta go. It's a challenge, we know, but we just need to have this sort of conversation in the honest factions, not to get in the feelings or sort of emotions or sentiment here. There are some questions that are legitimate, whether we agree or disagree. If we don't have the answers, it's simple. Plead the fifth, and then we'll move on. You just plead the fifth. We have Jerry back on here, took us from Bangladesh, Indonesia, and there was no airspace. It would take me way to Granby there.
Yeah, I took you to we.
You took me where to we?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys, I think you and the liberal, you guys, two of you, you're just perfectly suited together.
But you know, from Totown to we, that is short a distance, right?
Yeah.
So can I get my closing? I gotta leave you guys.
Oh, but I thought you have closed.
Your closing finish. You just
how many
closing?
I'm
no, you're not. No. You don't even
Mr. Bago and wait. But
so,
anyway.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Mali, you're gonna take us on after your statement.
Yeah.
Make
I can see it in there for you. The independent voices took over.
Yeah.
We gotta force them to take our country back.
Yeah, let me come in. Sure, if you want me to.
No. I said Mali Jones.
You gotta give me a chance.
Go ahead. Hey, this is the platform for you tonight. They give it to you on platinum. They give it to you on platinum. Go ahead.
We
are on silver platform.
Our speaker will be going off. The battery all dead.
When the sun shining on you, the white man say you take some bath. I mean, gentlemen, let's be very sincere here.
Come on,
Honor George, we are.
Come on,
Honor President, we are. There were a lot of hardship. Some of these things that even affected some of our ordinary people to just get fed up with this man. All right. We know the big things are there. If you ask some of the people in Liberia now about the war crackle, between war crackle and reducing prices, some of our old man then will tell you, say, I think they're reducing price so I can have something to eat is better, or reducing the school fee around within a public school for my children to go to school. They would prefer that than the war crackle. We are the intellectual. That is our direction. But the little thing that are affecting the population, I've never seen the government talk about it one day. Not one single day. Terry, we are not saying that all these things will happen in one day or a few seconds. But at least work hand in hand with some of these things. Okay, we are talking about this now. Our subtopic here is to reduce prices. Maybe you can hang on our little one a little bit
for the
That's
common
quick
people
fixing.
are coming
We
now.
don't want quick
No,
fixing.
no. And that is
Yeah,
same
hold on.
people.
No,
Now, when
go
the
ahead.
people get fair, let me tell you, if the war code doesn't go through, the ordinary people, our own man, then they don't care. But if the hardship keep hitting them through the Tewa tap issue, the next thing now they will discredit Joseph Boakai and voting for him. A whole party said it will become a problem.
Yeah, they put different
No.
presidents that bring joy. We are back.
No. We are not saying
Bring president. We are back.
It's the same thing that we're crying for President we are. However,
Simple.
to close, when President Boakai embark on anything, he should be tactical, pragmatic, forceful, objective, and finally conclusive. This is one area the intellectual will respect this papi. But I see that he's been dangling. Let me just take you back. The soldiers, the soldiers' women issue up to today is inconclusive.
It's a security matter.
Coming. It was security matter. It was the same
We got experienced security here. He can explain that better for you.
It was the same announcement. Why he didn't make an announcement behind closed door? He brought in the public. The next thing, the money business that went on with the inauguration is still inconclusive. Everything just going cold.
Investigation.
Coming
it's
now.
on an investigation.
How can President Boakai expect the intellectual?
The other pastor here, I want to see a congregation.
When
I can use it. I can use
yes,
it.
when he dangling on these type of things, you are just defining President Boakai leadership.
I swear to God.
Okay. And to be fair with you, President Boakai, he's leaning toward what I call a laissez-faire type of leadership. And in a laissez-faire type of leadership is filled with a lot of sympathy than policy.
Sympathy than policy.
I yield.
You when you rather go lower when they stop you, then I'm a voice.
The last one you said, the only one I agree with. All the other things you thought, I don't agree with. But anyway, yeah.
Okay. All right. So guys, look, all fingers equal or not?
Not.
Eh?
All depends on your understanding.
They are not.
Yeah, okay. We take technical position. All fingers are not equal. Mali getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes does not necessarily suggest that Terry will get 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It could be 30 seconds, it could be 5 seconds, and some might not even get. Terry, let's hear you.
You see the Israeli. But anyway, Mr. So thank you for the day. But to be honest with you, in as much as I have a problem with President Boakai leadership, I think President Boakai would make a great leader, but he will not fulfill all my expectations.
What is the problem you have?
Well, like I said earlier on, right? President Boakai will be a sustainer. My expectation, I don't want a sustainer. I want a leader that can create. I want a leader that is motivational. Like what Mr. Madi said, sympathy. President Boakai looks like a leader who will have a lot of sympathy for many things. Like, bro, it's not a society that need a sympathetic leader. You need a forceful leader that will implement and do exactly. President Boakai, I expected him to bring in expertise. I expected him to come to the diaspora and bring strangers to come to the economy to change the trajectory. Like what Madame Shirley did after she won the election. She came for people like Antoinette Sayer. She came for Amara Conant. Today, Amara Conant. Listen to Amara Conant today on Spoon Talk. Listen to the man speaking. You understand? Eh? She came for other expertise that today they need. She came for John Malu. How we got to know John Malu? You have to create. And that was what President Weah was doing. President Weah was doing cut and paste. He was a sustainer. And in the end, he became a selective leader. Selective leader. You know what I'm saying? So I think President Boakai, from my projection, President Boakai, I see him to be a leader that will be, that is just going to sustain, a leader who he learned from somebody and implement what he learned. He's not going to be a leader who will create his own design, and structure his own legacy that people will come and live after. I may be wrong. I want him to already prove me wrong, but that is the expectation I have already projected for him.
expectation you already
Oh my God.
projected. Let me
Then the
just
whole
cross.
then the whole rescue team is a failure.
No,
No, it's not a failure.
Hold on.
I didn't say that.
You guys done. Let me send it over here. I'm not sure whether your projections is within the investigations within the 100 days and all of that because
Yes,
all you give
my
the
90 days. He's already concluding 90 days already, almost 90 days. So,
yeah.
Mm.
Send us on here, please. Let us go home peacefully. Now will be set up. Tabata, please go for God.
Yeah, I will take a different dimension tonight.
Okay. Where is it?
You know, I like the tip you play for the speaker. You know, it is sad just by a hearse.
The liberal on this nightwear. I don't think they're going away from the nightwear.
That his house got burned. But let's be realistic here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a speaker of Republic of Liberia. And go check the security budget. Check the defense, police, fire service, NSA by its own disclosable. They are not disclosable, so we're not going to talk about it. And these are the things some have been saying long time ago. Look at the fire department. Folks, they have to get from where? LPR-TV to come to rehab. Let's look at rehab, for example. You got a speaker there, you got a former president, and you got a current president. This place, rehab, supposed to be one of the most secure areas. And look what happened. The habitated neighborhood. I live here myself almost on the same street, not far from my house. I can be on my porch and see a house. I got burned down. Sorry, burned down. But in order to do this thing, we have to put money into this thing for us to get done. I said it the other day. Liberia is moving at fast speed, especially the post-war. Look at Tottenham Boulevard. I know when the last time you were in Tottenham Boulevard, I was amazed. The hotels that they are building, skyscraper hotels. There's no fire, there's no hydro. That's why he's a victim, but there are more victims here to come. I pray that it not happen, but it's obvious where we find human beings, this thing is bound to happen. So,
okay.
1 second, please. Now, you know, it's my own opinion. 1 second, please.
My battery is dying.
Oh yeah. Okay, no, I'll charge you. I'll recharge it. I'll charge it. I know. You see, when good things rather happen, bad things happen first. Now the speaker house is burned. I believe now he will be the advocate. I will put money into the fire department. I will make sure we got water system. In conclusion, look at Reeves, the actor who was riding horseback and he broke his back. Spinal cord injury when he broke his back. Today, you got millions of dollars to do research on spinal cord injury today. You know, so I'm not saying what happened to him or one of the best, but what we can do right now is he had to take the torch now and run with it and say, folks, we need to increase our security budget. We need to do this because he himself being the victim. So I think he's the person out to carry the torch. As a speaker, let him use a bullet, let him use a speaker bullet appropriate, to advocate for this.
You don't talk too much pushing fanatical far, then you and your guy are gonna be having problem because that his body. So the liberal.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Mr. So. You had a beautiful, beautiful show. And as usual, look at the background you have. Look at your demeanor. Everything is so beautiful tonight. And you're such a wonderful person. And, so, I mean, you're just, and one of the things I can praise myself here tonight is that I was not, I saw Madam Esther I didn't give her a headache here tonight. That's a wonderful thing to do, because usually when she comes, she'll say, I give her a headache. So tonight I didn't give her a headache. And I also want to make this announcement. Excuse me?
Because you were saying in charge, because you're going to be in charge.
Okay.
And we all going to take it.
Tomorrow's show is going to be one-on-one with, I'm hoping to have Kia-san one-on-one for 2 hours tomorrow. I'm working on it. Hopefully we'll be successful to have him on. There's a lot of conversation I want to have with him in terms of the Liberian government, his involvement, and all of the things that happened during the campaign, everything else. I just want to have that kinds of conversation so many people, whatever perception and belief they have, perhaps it will be able to dispel some of those rumors that have been going on. But Mr. So, it's been a wonderful night, and we're way over time.
Show, Mr. So.
Thank you very much for the show, and I'll say good night to all of you.
Thank you so much. Go and renew yourself and be an honest guy and stop sinking his little political sun. Okay, Mr. Gerald Bacon, as always, good to tap into your expertise. And of course, Mr. Collins, thank you for your commitment and not just only to this network, but to Liberia and things that you strongly believe in. So we will not leave no one behind. We're not going to be like liberals who are going to sanction voices and create those barricades or stop people from speaking. This is not who we are, and we would never be that way. Guys, thank you. Terry, in the coming next week, hopefully you have the opportunity to see the Liberal as well. We're all going to be in Minnesota.
Can you play that song again before you introduce it? Our song. That's my.
And Mr. So, I want to recommend something too on the show that at least sometimes we can read about 5 or 10 comments. After the show.
So, absolutely. So what are they against and for? All right, I think that's a good one. Yeah, that we will do a random selections. Don't be that people. He always picks it with one that favors him. That's why that's the kind of man person he is. Back on, you say I should play what?
Can you play that song again?
Which song is that?
The song that you played before you not made a funeral announcement. It's a beautiful song.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mr. Bacon won't go to Gui. He won't go to Gui.
You mean the
go do the one? Yeah, but do the old day when they sing that song, my party will be get a couch and be running. That's it.
Oh boy, you feel that eating cow?
Yeah, good now.
No, go there, right? Okay.
All right, thank you.
So I'll play it, and we're going to be breaking that funeral live as well. Okay. Let me see here. All right. I want to interrupt this interlude of music to bring you this obituary announcement from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. So, this guy is the guy who sang this song. He's one of the most famous traditional singer. The meaning of that song, let us work. Let us work. This is a guy who empties literally the late president Samuel Doe at the executive mansion. The guy, he sings when he's thinking. He likes to sing early dawn hour, where you can, you might say like a country boy in the village, certain time you don't hear the sounds of the bird. It can be just be at a time. Oh, yeah. That's where he can perform. And so, man, when he's thinking, your pocket breaks down. So that's who he is. Walter will be in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the 25th, 26th, 7th weekend to lay to rest our uncle, our brother, our cousin, our father, the late Jerry Zia, who is a former board chair of our own district organization. He was in Multitude, he been in Minnesota there for a very long time. LPR going to be bringing to live coverage on his homegoing. That's in 1958. We're going to be there to support the family, the kids, as we try to reflect on his life, who he was, and all of the good times that we had together. It is sad, but we will be there as well. So, well, folks, that does it this evening. I want to thank you so much for sharing your evening with us right here to the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. And if you have a pending graduation, a wedding, funeral, how you call it, reunions, or whatever you turn it to be, and you want it to be, to broadcast or cover, it doesn't matter where you are. Let us know if there's no way we can find it. You have a business, you want to advertise it, be it in Liberia right here, let us know. There are things that we will tell you to do. There are conversations we can have, and we can add those things here. That's how we like to do it. That way you can also support our cause and not just only throwing cash out or Zelle money here. Not that we don't want money, but I think it makes sense to render some services, and let's see whether those services too can bear fruit, and then you give us something. We need it, but we don't feel somehow right just to be asking and asking. People want to do it, they can do it out of their own volition. So now that we don't have the cash out, now that we don't have the Zelle, but I think as a community network, we must also provide services. We must also serve you, and then you can give your financial contributions. There will come a time we ask, but I told my guys yet we will ask, but we want to ask and be very illustrated to why we asking, why we need your money, not just give us $5, $10, $100, but we must tell you the reason why we need it. And that question why is what we are working towards. We don't know how long it's going to take, but ultimately we'll come to that. We display it, will be illustrative, we will be more visual in our communication to see you why we need this and where that money is going to be going. And absolutely, there are a lot of good friends here to follow us. Some agree with our talking points, some they don't. But we respect the views of each and everyone coming here, no matter to your political side. And this is why we endeavor not to leave no one behind. Whether you agree with or you disagree with us, we do not sanction voices on this network. And we'll be reaching out personally to people either by face, messenger, or phone numbers we have, or whatever mediums of communication. If that time comes, we will let you know, and we will tell you why we need your financial support. Until then, let us know if you are a strong follower of the Liberia Public Radio, and if it is a big day for you, something that you want to share, just send out a message or just send out an inbox. So today or tomorrow is my birthday, so it's my anniversary, and you want us to advertise it, we can do it. I know Facebook sometimes gives notification, but we don't just want to get out and do something without your consent. So if there's something great that is happening at a specific time, specific date, and you want us to showcase that, grant us that permission, and trust me, we can do that. All right. So that's our own commitment of your time you spend with us here at 2 hours, 30 minutes, whatever it is. Not that you don't have work to do, but we value your time here, your interactions, your conversations, everything as well. Very, very much important. If this is the first time, we say we are glad to have you here. Follow us on go on the Facebook, in the search engine, type in Liberia Public Radio. You can be a follower. You can send us a message, LIB Messenger. My personal account. You can send us a message to make suggestion as to how we can enhance our conversation here. If you want to be a contributor, that is an analyst on this network, you don't have to be just get a taste skin like myself. You want to volunteer your services here to disregard what people are going to say, why are you going to say it. Obviously, people are going to disagree with you no matter what. because we are in a divided and polarized country. If you want to be a contributor here, let us know, and we can have that conversation. And trust me, it's not going to cost you a dime. We should be paying these analysts, but we do not have it, and they understand where we are coming from. So there's a way they are just volunteering as well, giving back to the community, having this sort of conversation. So if you wish to be part of what we are doing, you have the time, let us know, and we're going to bring you here. Until then, thank you so much, and God blessing, be safe, and I will see you. We'll see you. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, yo go. Yeah, yo go. Madame Ode Maribete, Benjo, Charlotte. I would say. I love you. Hey.